It's Monday, and it's a big, big day for your Pittsburgh Steelers. Welcome back to Mike Drop Sports, everybody. I'm Jason. Let's dive in here on a Monday with so much Steelers news going on ahead of that Week 8 matchup with the New York Giants here tonight on Monday Night Football, and what is going to be a big opportunity for your Pittsburgh Steelers as the Baltimore Ravens fall yesterday to a Jameis Winston-led Cleveland Browns offense. And they did it. Hey, they got it done. And it was in the final moments, and it was a big play from Jameis Winston, a 38-yard touchdown pass to seal the game. Justin Tucker missing field goals still in that game, too. It just makes you wonder who the best kicker in the AFC North is right now. And I got to say, it's Chris Boswell right now for sure. Justin Tucker has had a Hall of Fame type career, but yet Chris Boswell right now head and shoulders above with his accuracy and with his consistency for the Pittsburgh Steelers. We're going to talk a lot about this game tonight and a lot about those special teams that we were just talking about, a lot about this offense, a lot about this defense here today on Monday's show. But I want to bring up something that seems to have the world set on fire right now, and that is Justin Fields and his Instagram post. And it's in the thumbnail. If you want to see it, it's in the thumbnail. You can go ahead and select on the thumbnail and check it out. But he is there saying, patiently waiting with some folding hands, praying hands. Is this some cryptic tweet? Is this him just saying, hey, just talking to God, basically saying, hey, I'm patiently waiting for whatever you bring for me, Father God, and that's just what it is? Or is this more? Is this more of Justin Fields waiting for a trade here? Is he waiting to figure out where he is going to go to potentially be able to start? I always say this, be careful what you wish for before you start doing any of this stuff, because the grass isn't greener, man. Just because you're going to a place that you may be able to potentially be the starter, you're maybe ruining a chance that you have to lead a franchise that's in a lot more of a stable situation, a way better, a far better opportunity. And it perhaps would be in your best interest to just ride it out and weather the storm and allow things again to be in God's hands and patiently wait. Maybe that is what Justin is saying here, and I'm not going to put words into his mouth, but it does seem rather weird and rather odd that he put that in the situation that he's currently in. The timing just seems rather odd. That's all I'm saying, and I perhaps could be dead wrong with what Justin Fields is trying to put out there with that tweet and what he's trying to say. But tonight, that leads us into this offense. Russell Wilson, a Russell Wilson-led offense. The Steelers potentially still looking for a wide receiver. Perhaps they're waiting here until after tonight's game, and then they're going to aggressively pursue it, considering several teams lost yesterday to knock them farther down the rungs and knock them farther out of playoff contention to where they possibly may be able to or may be willing to make a deal for one of their top targets. There was several teams yesterday that have potential targets on it that the Steelers could pursue. So there's many of those. We'll talk about some of those on the live show here tonight ahead of the Monday Night Football game. But the Steelers offense, guys, they got to come out swinging. They can't go back into that shell. They can't go and just say, we're running the ball because that's just what we want to do. That's our identity, and that's all we're going to do. No, run it. I agree. Run it. Utilize that. But please, you have to have balance, man. You have to spread the ball around. When you don't have a true number two target in your wide receiver room, and you just can't force feed players the ball in that situation. You really have to spread it around and keep defenses guessing, and that is your only route of travel, man. You can't sit there and try to just force feed George Pickens the ball. You cannot do that. It creates an imbalance in this offense, and it's going to create a terrible situation for the Steelers, and it's going to trickle down throughout the whole system. So you can't do that. And if you're Arthur Smith, I know you recognize that. And I know you're going to come out here and you're going to really try to spread the ball around again, just like Russell Wilson did in the second half of that last game. He had a rough start. Let's see if he can come out and have a strong start early against this Giants team who is missing a player here or there, but relatively has had a good defense this whole season. A defense in which can really get after you with 31 sacks and does not play games when it comes to rushing the passer. But again, I told you earlier in the week that if you are Russell Wilson and you were able to step up into that pocket and really be precision with your football, man, and deliver it quickly once you make that first step up into the pocket and allow that pass rush to spread around you, I think you could be really successful. And that's why I think Calvin Austin could potentially be the real success story of this evening's ball game, where he could be drag routes, using those inside-outside routes, using those potential deep balls. I think that this really works and plays into the hand of Calvin Austin and his skill set. I brought it up on like Monday or Tuesday, I believe, that Calvin Austin was a player to watch, and I think still that remains something that I really think to be true. I really think Calvin Austin is going to come out and really be able to do some heavy damage. Also, that run game for the Steelers. We talked about it. You can't be one-dimensional. You can't be unbalanced, but you have to run the football, and you have to use that run game to really set up that action game, to really allow Russell Wilson to get comfortable. Najee Harris, Jalen Warren, Patterson. I think you're going to see a mix of all of them, and the Steelers like to use them all, and hopefully that will be the case. And Najee has been hot these last two games, and I think he can continue that theme and really still be highly, highly productive. I look for the Steelers to put over 30 points up this week. Again, for the third straight week in a row. I think it's going to be a 38-10 ball game, and I think the Steelers really put a ass beating on the Giants. And I know a lot of you use the word trap game, but I don't think the Steelers allow this to slip through their hands to where the Baltimore Ravens, again, lose and give the Steelers a golden opportunity to head into the bye week being in sole possession of first place in the AFC North heading into the back half of the season. Let's talk about the Steelers defense and what they got going on. Alex Highsmith back for the second week in a row. You got TJ Watt, the world's best defender. Minka Fitzpatrick starting to heat up a little bit, in my opinion. Deshaun Elliott, who's played lights out. Patrick Queen, who's gotten better and better and better each week he's in the system. Deshaun Jackson. You got Joey Porter Jr. You got Beanie Bishop, who had a big game last week against Aaron Rodgers with 2 interceptions. Peyton Wilson and Landon Roberts. Cam Hayward playing lights out. I just really, really feel like this defense is starting to hit its stride, starting to get healthier and healthier as time goes on, and I think is really going to be a true force tonight and will cause some significant turnovers and significant splash plays, and perhaps we see that elusive defensive score that we've been waiting to see here in 2024 from this defense. I think the players to watch on defense are going to be Alex Highsmith. I think TJ Watt's going to have a big night also. I think those edge rush guys are really going to have a big, big night on Daniel Jones. But I look for Patrick Queen and Peyton Wilson and Landon Roberts, that inside linebacker group, to really have a big night considering what Daniel Jones can do with his legs. I think that they could potentially, do really, really big things in all three phases of the offense: the run, the pass, and the quarterback run. And that's what I call all three phases, in my opinion, of the offense. I call the quarterback, his athleticism, that being a dynamic, that being a phase. I call the run game a phase, and the pass game a phase. So that's what I'm talking about. You got to be able to control all three phases of that offense if you are an inside linebacker tonight. Also, I look for tonight Deshaun Elliott to continue his theme of being really, really good for the Steelers. Deshaun Elliott lights out, guys. Best acquisition, I think, in free agency. So I look for him to continue that tonight. Also, let's move over to that special teams group that's been so special, guys. Blocking kicks, consistency in the punt game, consistency in the field goal extra point game by Chris Boswell. And they just don't stop. Each and every week, they continue to be better and better and better. And that's awesome for the Steelers, because the special teams game that is that high of a level that can change the game with one play is so special to have for if you're the Steelers, especially heading into this back half of the season. season to where it could really win you a ball game, man. It could really turn the tides of a ball game and really set you up for a key victory against some of these big name teams, the Ravens, the Chiefs, the Eagles, the Bengals. They could really help you. And also, they have a game coming up against the Commanders, and the Commanders win yesterday on a last-second heroics from Jaden Daniels. Remember, I told you he's better than Caleb Williams. I didn't think a lot of people wanted to believe me, but I think Caleb Williams, pounding his chest after they scored, really patting himself on the back. Jaden Daniels, perhaps really showed what he was about last night. Stayed cool. Never did any of that. Even after he delivered the Hail Mary pass, that was, a lucky play, man. That turned out to be awesome for them. Never praised himself, really gave the glory to God and his teammates, and really was a humble young man. And playing injured last night, still coming out and getting his team a W. That was big for the Washington Commanders and Jaden Daniels, who I think was the best quarterback in 2024's draft. But the Steelers have to play that team. This is going to be a tough road to travel. You have all of your AFC North games. You have the Commanders. You have the Chiefs. You have the Eagles again. And this is not going to be any picnic. And getting healthy and hitting your stride at the right time is exactly what the doctor ordered for the Pittsburgh Steelers here in 2024. And I think it's going to be a fun ride, guys. And I think the Steelers come out of tonight 6-2 in sole possession of first place in the AFC North, a division in which has been known to be very, very rough. But I think they can get it done. All right, guys, thank you for joining us here on a Monday here on Mike Drop Sports. I'm your host, Jason, as always. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share to the show. I don't like to bug you throughout the show saying that here on our uploads, but it's so important for you to share and like and comment. And we will get back to you as we answer pretty much every comment there is that we get each and every day. So, excuse me. It's Monday. It's the morning, and here we are, man, rolling, and it is going to be a big Monday night. So thank you, guys. I appreciate you for joining me. So until next time, until tonight for our live Steelers pregame show, I'm Jason. This is Mike Drop Sports. Peace.